Hey guys, sorry, I'm not ready. All right, so we are winding up our order of operations. We have gradually built up to where we're at now. Before we start, I want to talk about that there are 3 ways to write a multiplication problem. Now, there's the traditional 2 times 3 with the x, which I told you we want to get away from. Then there's 2 times 3 like this, which we have worked more with this week with the dot. But there's also like this. It's called side by side, means multiply. If we were in class, I would do a little cha-cha and we go side by side, multiply. Side by side, multiply. I'm not going to put that on a video because I don't want it always out there. Now, now this would not mean, that is the number 23. If I have 23, we're going to put parentheses to show that they are side by side, that it means 2 times 3 and not the number 23. Now, where we're going to apply this at in order of operations is, see, here's our first example. Okay, so we do our PEMDAS. But the first thing I want you to see is, look right here. See how there's nothing between that 3 and that parentheses? So there is my side by side. So that means when I get done with that parentheses, I'm going to multiply my answer by 3. So I tell the kids to go ahead and go put a multiplication dot right there so you won't forget. So do I have parentheses? Yes, I have exponents, division, and adding. So I'm going to take care of the exponent first, which means 9 times 9. So 3 times, then the parentheses, 81 divided by 3 plus 91. Do I still have parentheses? Yes, I had division and adding. So I divide first. Bring down that. 81 divided by 3 is 27 plus 91. Do I still have parentheses? Yes. One last thing to do, I have to add. That's 118. Now I'm done with the parentheses. Do I have any more exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication for division? Yes, I have to multiply 3 times 118. And that's 354. But the big thing I want you to get out of this problem is this part right here, because that's side by side, so you put in that multiplication dot because side by side means to multiply. Okay, here is example 2. Okay, so notice that we have 2 parentheses. And notice that there is nothing in between these 2 parentheses. So they are side by side, so you multiply. Now, just like when we have adding and subtracting, we go from left to right. When we have multiplying and dividing both, we go from left to right. So when we have 2 parentheses, we do them from left to right. So we're going to take care of this parentheses right here first. So I look inside of it and I have an exponent. So I'll bring down 18 divided by 6. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Bring down all of that. And notice I put that multiplication dot in between them because side by side meant to multiply. Then I'm going to divide. Multiplication dot because side by side meant to multiply. Finally do that. So I am done with the first parentheses, and now I do the next one, and all that's in it is adding and subtracting. So I go from left to right. I can't subtract tonight, my head. And I add. And then all that's left for me to do is to multiply. And that would give me 2070. But again, the thing I wanted to point out to you is at the beginning of this problem, I had two parentheses and there was nothing in between them. So that meant to multiply because side by side means to multiply. Now, one last example I want to talk to you about is we have done exponents inside of the parentheses, but never outside. So if we had okay, so first of all, do I have parentheses? Yes, I do have parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I have division and adding. So I'm going to divide first. Put exponents on the outside there. Looks a little different. We'll get to that in just a second. Still have parentheses. So when I add that, that gives me 8. I'm done with the parentheses. I could do this. And that little 2 is going to attach to the answer. Or you can simply go, okay, 8, and then that 2, that exponent 2 is going to attach to the answer 8. That's what you do when it's outside of the exponent. The exponent attaches to the answer. Now, I'm done with parentheses. Do I have any exponents? Yes, that means 8 times 8. So that's 64 plus 48. And then all I have left to do is to add. And my answer is 112. So this was an example when you have the exponent outside of the parentheses. This one was an example of you have two parentheses side by side, which means to multiply. And you take care of the parentheses to the left first and then to the right second. And then this one, again, this side by side means to multiply.